Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eija Räisänen, and I come from Forssa Town Library. And here. Okay. Some facts about Forssa. Forssa is a small town in southern Finland with population about 17,500 about. And Forssa is also a center of the region called Southwestern Häme, where the total population is 36,000. Forssa Town Library is a very small one in a way that there's only main library, no branches, no branch libraries at all. But we have a mobile library, which means a library bus, which serves the rural area and also the schools. 43% of inhabitants are customers of town library, and our personnel is at the moment 13 persons working in the library. And here's a chart of a Finnish library network, because we really work as a network in Finnish libraries. All libraries are under Ministry of Education and Culture, and Ministry of Education and Culture is making the legislation for the library section, and it gives subsidies, government subsidies to libraries. There's a national library in Finland, and that is an independent institute at University of Helsinki, and that coordinates matters that are common to all library sectors, like cataloging or purchasing e-materials. There's a nationwide consortium called Finnish for buying e-materials. There is a national representative body for public libraries called Council of Public Libraries. And then Helsinki City Library is acting as a central library for public libraries, which means that it organizes council's activities in practice. And it has some duties, for example, giving interlibrary loans free of charge to other libraries. It runs multilingual library for whole Finland, and it maintains libraries' common web page, libraries.fi. And Helsinki City Library is piloting many national projects in Finland. There is also regional cooperation. 18 libraries, public libraries, are acting as provincial libraries, and they support municipal libraries in their area by perhaps buying some e-materials to common use, by giving interlibrary loans, and by organizing further education for us. But I think the most important regional cooperation unit is these regional cooperation networks, which are quite voluntary, not based on legislation. And these are sometimes even provincial size. But for example, Forssa belongs to a small network called Louna Libraries. And there is Forssa and 4 other municipalities around Forssa in this Louna Libraries group. And in this group we have a common library management system, we have common material acquisition, we have common rules and fees, and there's transportation between libraries at the area. And there are even some regional libraries in Finland, which means that the municipalities are independent, but the libraries are united in a way that they have common administration, they have common budget and common staff. Some libraries work like this. Some facts about municipal public libraries. In Finland, there's a public library in every municipality, more than 3,000 municipalities in Finland. In many municipalities there are also branch libraries and, as I told, book mobiles. In Finland, the use of collections and borrowing is free of charge. There is no registration fee. And traditionally Finns have been very avid library users. There are some statistics of last year. And in Finland the total annual lending was over 17 per capita. The annual number of library visits was 10 per capita, and online visits were more than 10 per capita. But unfortunately, really, as in all these figures are going down at the moment, and in recent years. So, as we all know, it has something to do with Google and internet, but I think what's even more worrying for us in libraries is that people read less, even fiction. Children and adolescents especially read less fiction. And that's why in Finnish libraries, libraries and schools very often cooperate and try to promote reading and youth reading. And they, for example, librarians go to schools and give book talks to children. Kids read books from a certain list and make some exercises, and in the end of the year they get a fine reading diploma. That's one system to activate reading. And at the moment there is a national lukuinto project going on in Finland that I could translate Love of Reading project, where pilot schools and libraries work together and try to find new ways to promote reading. And we are all waiting, very eagerly waiting for the outcome of this project. And for example, in Forssa we have started a new service for adults, a personal reading advisor. You can reserve a librarian for 1 hour and we discuss about the literature, and then after that 1 hour we make recommendations what kind of book the customer might like. This is a quite new one, so we really don't have experiences yet. And as is told already, we also in Finland we think that library has many social functions, because it is a free space, anyone can come there and spend time there. So there are plenty of events going on in Finnish libraries too. We think library has an important social function in the society. At the moment, we don't feel that e-materials are a threat for traditional library services, because the whole e-reading business is starting very slowly in Finland. Open access publishing is common with public authorities and universities at the moment. For example, most of dissertations are available online. But only 25% of commercially published books are available in e-versions. And only 1/3 of this 25% is sold to libraries, because publishers want to sell books straight to customers, not to us. And that's a big problem in Finland. Our National Library has no plans to digitize all Finnish printed materials, as they, for example, do in Norway at the moment. We have no such plans. National Library digitizes only very selectively culturally and historically valuable collections, and their emphasis at the moment is in newspapers and periodicals, for example. About e-materials in library use, I think university libraries in Finland are much more active. There are universities where more than 80% of materials budgets are spent in e-materials. And that's because they can use foreign materials and their users are young and educated. But in public libraries there would be a huge demand for domestic material, Finnish material. And really we don't have that material as much as we would like to. So we must buy what is available, not what we would need. And some other things which slow down this library use is that borrowing e-books at the moment is it is a bit difficult because they are protected, it's a bit complicated. And I think there's still some lack of marketing, we should market them more. About the situation of different types of material. When it comes to newspapers and magazines, there are no full-text databases of Finnish magazines available at all. There's a nice database for newspapers called ePress. It contains 130 Finnish newspapers, and this is our most popular product. People really like this database. And in most Finnish public libraries, also library press display database is available, and that contains foreign newspapers. And Helsinki City Library is piloting at the moment a database called Cineo, and we are really expecting their experiences of this database. When it comes to books, there really has, a year ago there was no Finnish fiction available in e-version, not at all. But recently there has been some progress, and some popular Finnish fiction is available for libraries to buy. But there are huge differences between libraries at the moment. Some libraries don't have e-books at all. On the other hand, for example, Helsinki metropolitan area libraries have a nice collection of thousands of e-books available. We in Louna libraries have now about 150 e-books, and I think we should do some more marketing with them. The loan statistics are quite modest at the moment, but we have them. We have a start. When it comes to other e-material types, there has been a huge decrease in library loans of music CDs, DVDs and Blu-ray discs because of Spotify, Netflix and services like that. We don't have much to offer in Finnish libraries. We have classical music service called Maxus Music Library, and Helsinki City Library is piloting a database called Indiaflix, which contains movies, and we are waiting for experiences. And because it's so difficult, it has been so difficult with these e-materials, the Finnish Council for Public Libraries set up a project called Electronic Contents to Public Libraries, and this project started 2011. And the aim of this project is that all residents in Finland should have access to electronic materials. And at the moment there have been some important achievements already. They have set up public library consortium. They have developed e-library platform for e-material, and they support digitizing libraries. And this public library consortium, at the moment, there's a mistake. It started in March 2014, so this year only. And more than 125 municipalities have already joined this consortium. And this consortium focuses on e-material acquisition right now. It's negotiating and managing procurement contracts for all public libraries. And it developed this platform for e-materials. It's educating library staff locally or with recorded training sessions. And it's making common marketing material for all libraries. The common platform is called e-library, e-kirjasto in Finland, and the idea is that in every library the e-materials would be on the same kind of website. So it would be easy for the customers. They always know that when they see this logo, e-kirjasto, the library's e-materials are under that. And when it comes to support of digitizing, according to a survey, about 50 public libraries have digitized their collections or planning to do so. And we are talking about copyright-free old material. And this project gives support to digitizing. It gives information about copyright issues. Copyright legislation in Finland is pretty difficult. It gives support for using Omega, which is a web publishing platform which any library can use, and so on. Okay, when it comes to software and equipment in Finnish public libraries, I think today, we all know that today some information is only available on the internet. And in Finland, even some public services are available only on the internet. And that's pretty difficult if you don't have a computer, if you're, for example, or elder people perhaps don't. And I think there's a agreement in Finland that the library is a place where you can go and have a free access to a workstation. So in libraries, Even if you have a computer home, like people come to libraries to use scanners, printers, photocopy machines and things like that. And some libraries in Finland are very innovative with this equipment. And for example, Helsinki City Library has a service called Urban Workshop, which means that they have all kind of equipment for citizens, from sewing machine to 3D printers, and they also support for using them. But we are not that innovative in Forssa. We have basic equipment like workstations, scanners, printers. We have one special service, which is pretty common in Finnish libraries. People can come to library to use self-service digitizing equipment. So if they have, for example, LPs or C cassettes, and they want to digitize them to CDs, we have an equipment for that. And if they have videotapes, which they want to make DVDs, we have an equipment for that. And this is a very popular service at the moment. And in Finnish libraries that provides guidance for this equipment too. In many libraries, they have a computer class, and libraries organize beginners computer and internet courses. We don't have a computer class in Forssa, but anyhow, any of our customers can reserve 1 hour personal guidance if they have troubles with computers and equipment. The next slide is about library management system. At the moment in Forssa we have a pretty old-fashioned but a reliable library management system. We would like to change it to a more modern one, which would have more interactivity in it. But the situation in Finland is pretty difficult. It's almost a monopoly in Finland, and we are not so interested in the alternatives at the moment, so we are sort of waiting. There are some pilots going on, for example, open access pilots about a system called Koha, and some other pilots trying new library systems, and we are waiting for their experiences perhaps. And then we are also wondering whether this new library management system should be a provincial one, not only a local one, but a provincial one. That would be sensible perhaps. We have some regional web services. At the moment, all Louna libraries have web pages of their own, but new web pages are under construction, and we will have common web pages of Louna libraries. Shared web pages. And Louna libraries also maintain a database called Louna Kirjailija, which contains information on local authors. Together with the provincial library in Hämeenlinna, we have some regional web services. We maintain HämeenWiki, which is a Wikipedia containing articles about provincial matters. And some other services too we have together with Hämeenlinna. There are some good national web services, especially libraries' common web page, kirjastot.fi. There's an English version to libraries.fi, but it doesn't contain so much information than the Finnish version. And in this page there are many sub-services which are worth linking on libraries' own web pages, like Ask Librarian service. So our customers can ask any question online and librarians answer, and those answers are archived on the website too. Then there are, for example, literature pages promoting fiction literature for adults. It's called Kirjasampo. Information about literature for adolescents is called Sivupiiri. And then there is a literature page for children called Ocarino. And all these are worth linking to library's own website. We have a nice multi-search from library database. That's called Frank search. And that means that that's very useful when you do interlibrary loans. You can check many libraries at the same time. And one nice service for professionals is Finnish Public Libraries Project Register. So when we apply public funding for a project, we make the application to this register, and afterwards we have the report the outcomes of the project also to this register. So when you try to find out what's happening in Finnish libraries, this Public Libraries Project Register is a nice place to check. Has anyone tried this already? And then we have a service called Kirjastokaista. So there are recorded marketing materials and also recorded seminars and training sessions like this. We don't always have to travel to Helsinki to attend to a seminar. We can see a recorded seminar afterwards. Finnish libraries in general are active in social media too. We in Forssa use Facebook, we use Instagram. We are not perhaps the most active in Finland. The advantage of using social media, we think that it should be something more than just a new media for our notices and news. That we would like to use these social media channels to tell customers and public what we really do in the library in a social way. And then we would like to think that there are an interactive channel. We would like to have feedback from there. I don't know if we managed to yet, but we would like to use them as feedback channels too. Then I think nowadays in Finland people use smartphones very much, and we should plan services for them. I don't think we are not very progressive with this in Forssa, but there are some new mobile services in Finnish libraries, and here I have mentioned some of them. The Helsinki City Library, for example, has developed a service called Pocket Library, and it means that there are the main functions of their library system in a mobile version. A very nice service. Oulu City Library has made a set of exercises to information retrieval, which are meant to be used with a mobile device. Tampere City Library has made a library path, which means that high school students come to the library and they find information about library services by reading QR codes with their smartphones. In Forssa we arranged last summer out of doors poetry path, where people, when they walk the path, could listen, YouTube recorded poems with QR codes, and it was pretty popular. Okay, here are some links for further information if you are interested in Finnish libraries. And really what I would last say is that because bigger libraries can work on their own, they have bigger resources also. But we in small libraries, I think all kind of cooperation is even more vital for us. And that's why I didn't talk only about Forssa Library, but Finnish libraries in general, because I think, as my title was, cooperation is an answer to digital challenges in Finland. Okay, thank you for attention. Köszönöm.